pools on this ancient hill, where summer air stays unusually still. I stand among the petals of the snow, watching how the restless breezes play across the chalky ridges and the clay, the same as when my mother came to play. I wonder who first sowed this holy ground, the secrets that the tangled roots have found. 100 years of rain and morning dew have kept this pale horizon bright and new. I trace the lines upon a single leaf, a beauty far beyond my own belief. Maybe these petals bloom for the unborn eyes underneath the same unchanging skies, a legacy of silver and of white to guide my daughter through the darkest night. We are only keepers of the land, holding on to time with open hand. Oh, let the seeds find shelter in the soil, beyond the human vanity and toil, so every girl who follows in my way can see the promise that we did not break. This garden is a prayer that we must keep, while all our tired ancestors still sleep. I picture her a century from now, with silver blossoms brushing on her brow, her daughter's daughter walking in the sun, thinking of the work that we have done to save this little corner of the earth and recognize its deep and quiet worth. The modern world is hungry and it's fast, but some things were designed to always last. As long as there is kindness in our blood and mercy in the rising of the flood, I'll pull the weeds and guard the garden gate before the hour grows hollow and too late. May these carols bloom for the unborn eyes underneath the same unchanging skies, a legacy of silver and of white to guide my daughter through the darkest night. We are only keepers of the land, holding on to time with open hand. Oh, let the seeds find shelter in the soil, beyond the human vanity and toil, so every girl will follow in my way can see the promise that we did not break. This garden is a prayer that we must keep, while all our tired ancestors still sleep. Oh. The city's breathing slow tonight, streetlights drowning in the rain. I left my fears on empty roads, calling my name again. Everyone tells me who to be, but they don't stay when the lights go out. In the quiet I finally hear what my heart's been screaming loud. This night is my night. face glow like broken stars. Someone's laughing far away. I'm learning how to hold my scars without needing them to fade. I don't need answers right now, just somewhere soft to land. If tomorrow has too much of me, tonight I'll understand. This night is mine, I choose the way. I break, I bend, I rearrange. Even silence calls my name. The night is mine, and that's enough. Let the rain decide the tempo. Let my tears fall out of time. I don't know the dark, but I saw your only truth that still feels mine. This night is mine. I won't explain why letting go still feels like pain. If I'm alone, I'm still okay. The night is mine. I choose to stay. When the morning comes too fast, I'll leave this feeling here. The night is mine. It always was. That's why I'm not afraid. The reflection of the glass has grown cold. Darkness eats the numbers on the pane. I am tired of this vigil I hold, waiting for a spark that never came. The silence wears a heavy gray hood, static buzzing deep in the night. I'm doing what I never thought I could, letting go of the ghost of the light. I turn the screen toward the wooden floor, black mirror facing down to dust. I am not looking for an open door or a promise corroded with rust. Let the world spin without my consent. Let the satellites drift and sleep. I'm taking back every second I spent on a watch I no longer keep. There was a message hanging in the air, like a word that the wind erased. The pulse in my palm was never there, just a shadow, my bones misplaced. There is mercy in the falling rain, in the quiet when signals die. I am loosening a waiting chain, letting unanswered moments slide. I turn the screen toward the wooden floor, like mirror facing down to dust. I am not looking for an open door or a promise corroded with rust. Let the world spin without my consent. Let the satellites drift and sleep. I am breathing in the time I spent becoming someone I can keep. The dark glass fades into the night, and the night is where I rest. I walk away from the borrowed light with a steady heart in my chest. The train tracks hum a low frequency tune past the rustic gate and the rising moon. Dust on the dashboard of my father's old car. Funny how the distance feels just as far. The cherry blossoms are itching to bloom, but there's a hollow space in every room. I saw your mailbox painted a brand new shade, counting the promises that we let fade. The sky is a pale and optimistic blue, but every corner of this town belongs to you. I'm walking fast through the golden afternoon, humming a melody that ended too soon. It's a bright sort of heavy inside my chest, a beautiful ghost that won't let me rest. Yeah, the sun is out and the birds are loud, but I'm still looking for your face in the crowd. I remember the salts on your summer skin, the way the screen door let the evening in. You had a laugh like a glass of spilled wine. Everything back then felt crooked and fine. Now the grocery store has changed its name, and the kids on the corner don't look the same. I brought a jacket I don't need to wear, searching for a scent that's no longer there. The sky is a pale and optimistic blue, but every corner of this town belongs to you. I'm walking fast through the golden afternoon, humming a melody that ended too soon. It's a bright sort of heavy inside my chest, a beautiful ghost that won't let me rest. Yeah, the sun is out and the birds are loud, but I'm still looking for your face in the crowd. Maybe you moved to a city with lights, maybe you sleep through the quietest nights. I'm just a traveler passing back through, a stranger to places I thought that I knew. The sap is running in the maple trees, I'm shaking the memories off of my knees. The sky is a pale and optimistic blue, but every corner of this town belongs to you. I'm walking fast through the golden afternoon, humming some melody that ended too soon. It's a bright sort of heavy inside my chest, a beautiful ghost that won't let me rest. Yeah, the sun is out and the birds are loud, but I'm still looking for your face in the crowd. The sky is a pale and optimistic blue, but every corner of this town belongs to you. I'm walking fast through the golden afternoon, humming a melody that ended too soon. It's a bright sort of heavy inside my chest, a beautiful ghost that won't let me rest. Yeah, the sun is out and the birds are loud, but I'm still looking for your face in the crowd. Once upon a velvet ceiling where the lanterns go to sleep, I climbed the crooked ladder with a secret left to keep. The moon was just a silver coin in some forgotten well, and every shadow held a tale no tongue would ever tell. I laced my boots with spider silk and stepped across the sky to catch the falling shards of light before they passed me by. The clouds were cotton blankets stitched with sugar-coated lies above the weary giant where the quiet thunder sighs. I gathered pebbles from the edge of Milky Way terrain to tap upon the window of the goddess of the rain. A sudden streak of amber split the darkness clean in two, a birthing needle sewing red into the blue. I held my breath till all my words refused to show. The silence rang like winter bells I used to know. Catch the spark before it fades into the ground, the only jewel left shining when there is no sun around. I'm asking for a map to where the broken toys remain, and the key to lift the shutters holding lonely souls enchained. Let the iron turn to honey, winter soften into wine. Grant me one small moment where the clock forgets the line, for a crumb of starlight falling through the night can keep the embers of a heavy spirit bright. Below us lay a forest drawn in dripping ink, where foxes chased old memories before the stars could blink. A shepherd counted sheep made out of mist and breath, clutching every letter summer never left. The sky began to shudder like a canvas torn by gales, revealing faded chapters of forgotten tales. I reached inside my worn-out coat and found the quiet wishes my own fingers wrote down. The air grew thin, a sleeping dragon stirred, each promise hanging by a fragile word. The universe spun reckless out of date, and we stood begging at the garden gate. Catch the spark before it fades into the ground, the only jewel that's shining when there is no sun around. Grant me one small moment where the clock lets go, for a crumb of starlight falling slow is enough to keep the embers glowing bright. with velvet pockets full of borrowed rhymes. A silent witness to the fading light, collecting secrets from the heavy skies. The blacksmith's son wants wings to leave the clay. The widow seeks a shadow on the floor. I fold the longing in a cold bouquet and carry them beyond the bolted door. The constellations tremble in the deep, a heavy harvest for a soul to keep. I stitch the fragments of the broken glass to watch the moment of the spirit pass. Stardust settles in my weary hands, dissolving names into the shifting sands. I lift the burden of the human spot and offer every fever to the dark. Into the vast and hollow blue I go until there is no singer left to know. A merchant dreams of gold that never rusts. A child asks for the rain to never end. I mix that hunger with the ancient dust, the jagged edges that I cannot mend. The constellations tremble in the deep, a heavy harvest for a soul to keep. I stitch the fragments of the broken glass to watch the moment of the spirit pass. Stardust settles in my weary hands, dissolving names into the shifting sands. I lift the burden of a human spark and offer every fever to the dark. Into the vast and hollow blue I go until there is no singer left to know. Stardust settles in my weary hands, dissolving names into the shifting sands. I lift the burden of a human spark and offer every fever to the dark. Into the vast and hollow blue I go until there is no singer left to know. Soft petals fall in the evening light, a gentle touch, a fleeting sight. Whispers float on the midnight air, two hearts dancing unaware. Oh, the whisper of grown love, quiet as the stars above. No need for words, just a glance in this slow, sweet romance. Oh, the whisper of grown love, quiet as the stars above. No need for words, just a glance in this slow, sweet romance. Time moves slow like a river wide, carrying us on its tender tide. Moments lingered, soft and true, wrapped in shades of midnight blue. Candlelight paints the room so low, shadows dance where feelings grow. A silent promise, a held breath, love that speaks in whispers left. Oh, the whisper of grown love, quiet as the stars above. No need for words, just a glance in this slow, sweet romance. Oh, the whisper of grown love, quiet as the stars above. No need for words, just a glance in this slow, sweet romance. In a room where shadows breathe and stay, she trades her hours for fading gray. Heavy eyes, a sloping spine, paper tights keep pulling time. I send my lullabies above, softest prayers the stars may love. Or gentle shadows draw her near, cradle every fragile fear, dress her dreams in silver glow. Let the restless seconds slow, till she drifts where silence waits, past the hands of ticking fate. Steam unwinds from cooling tea, like worries learning how to lead. Every sigh the night collects, stitching calm from her regrets. Breath by breath she lets it be, falling into quiet seas. Moonlight maps her weary face, rubbing out each bruise. grow still, the echoes run. Morning knows the night's not done. Oh, gentle shadows draw her near, cradle every fragile fear, dress her dreams in silver glow, let the restless seconds slow. In her dreams the clocks forget to move. In her heart old moments gently bloom. In her soul soft whisper falling line. In her mind the dark draws peaceful signs.
The asphalt ended where my spirit cracked. I left the engine running by the tracks, dragging a hollow chest through the nameless dust. Find the city built on hollow greed and trust. The shadows stretch like fingers down my spine, searching for a border I could finally resign. But the rising caught fire in a way I couldn't name. The silence was a roar that put my grief to shame. Golden waves crashing on a shore of ancient glass, watching the ghosts of my failures finally pass. A thousand suns bleeding into the dry mouth of the night, drowning the darkness in a flood of terrifying light. But the horizon caught fire in a way I couldn't name. The silence was drown in the darkness in a flood of terrifying light.
Clock strikes 12, the city's asleep. Whispering winds carry secrets we keep. Your hand in mine by the futures untold. From this moment you'll leave, and my heart will grow cold. Packed all your dreams in a suitcase so tight. Midnight departure, no stars in the sight. We fought all the tears, but the truth's crystal clear. Love's not enough when the ocean's so near. Midnight goodbye, my love, take flight. Chasing the dawn while I drown in the night. Promise you'll ride, though the miles are long. But for now, just hold me until you're gone. The engine hums like a lullaby, stealing you away under moonlit sky. One last kiss, one last tear, words left unspoken, but the silence is clear. Photographs fade in a drawer by my bed. Echoes of laughter now live in my head. Time moves so slow when you're not by my side. Waves of the distance keep pulling the tide. I trace the map where your new life begins. Foreign streets where my love won't fit in. Maybe someday fate will twist us around, but tonight let's pretend we're still bound. Midnight goodbye, my love, take flight. Chasing the dawn while I drown in the night. Promise you'll ride, though the miles are long. But for now, just hold me until you're gone. Midnight goodbye, my love so dear. Carry my heart as you disappear. See you again, but the words taste like pain. I loved you so much, like the last train in the rain. Soft echoes fade into the night. dust hung heavy on the cobblestone square when your shadow cut through the thick midday air. You spoke a dialect I could barely command, a drifter from the north with dirt on your hand. We traded glances by the rusted iron gate, two tangled threads in a strange twist of fate. But the fire we lit was too fierce for the timber, a blinding white light we will always remember. It roared through the valleys and scorched every field until there was nothing but ash left to yield. A beautiful ruin on a map drawn in red, leaving the words that we should have never said. Beside a dying flame, geography is a cold and cruel blade, cutting the promises that we recently made. No bridge across the water stays afloat when the captain is burning the only wooden boat. I watch the steam rise from your porcelain cup, too scared of the moment when the sun would wake up. Your eyes were a harbor where I wanted to stay, but the tide was already pulling you away. Now the scent of the jasmine is bitter and dry under the weight of this vast and far sky. The clock on the tower was ticking too fast. Nothing this violent was meant to ever last. The friction of souls leaves a scar on the skin before the silence of the winter settles in. For the fire we lit was too fierce for the timber, a blinding white light we will always remember. It roared through the valleys and scorched every field until there was nothing but ash left to yield. A beautiful union on a map drawn in red, leaving the words that we should have never said. Oh, the fire we lit was too fierce for the timber, a blinding white light we will always remember. It roared through the valleys and scorched every field until there was nothing but ash left to yield. A beautiful ruin on a map drawn in red, leaving the words that we should have never said. Oh, the fire we lit was too fierce for the timber, a blinding white light we will always remember. It roared through the valleys and scorched every field until there was nothing but ash left to yield. The dust has settled on the windowsill of this quiet room. Shadows stretch like memories across the wooden floor. I pour a glass of water just to watch the ripples move, counting every ticking second, knocking at my door. The television flickers with a face I used to know. I fold my heavy jacket like a prayer I cannot say. There is a grace in the stillness no one understands. a bridge for weary souls with blistered, tired hands. The ceiling keeps the secrets that I whisper to the dark, waiting for a tiny flame to catch a dying spark. Oh, the solace is a river flowing deep beneath the skin. It washes out the hollow places where the aches begin. I am my own companion in the silence of the night, building up a sanctuary out of filtered light. No need for heavy rescue or a sudden grand parade, just the gentle mending of the choices that I made. I am holding on to nothing till it finally feels like home, finding hidden diamonds as I walk alone. Street lamps draw constellations on the ceiling high above, a map for restless hearts that somehow outgrew love. The engines hum beneath the moon, a low and distant tune. I drink my bitter coffee as the frost begins to bloom. There is a dignity in lining all your sorrows straight. The walls become a shelter while you learn to wait. Oh, the solace is a river flowing deep beneath the skin. It washes out the hollow places where the aches begin. I am my own companion in the silence of the night, building up a sanctuary out of filtered light. Midnight whispers, soft and low. Chocolate melts, gentle glow. Quiet room, the world is still. Every taste a tender thrill. Clock strikes 12, the night is deep. I savor secrets I get to keep. Each small bite a memory fades, bittersweet in candle shades. The air is warm, the shadows hum, melodies of dreams to come, slowly flowing, time unwinds, lost in cocoa, peace I find. Midnight chocolate, soft and sweet, dancing slowly on my tongue's beat. But when it's gone, the shadows dream, and all that lingers is quiet, deep. comes the night once more. A single bite, the world feels small. Moments wrapped in chocolate straw. The hours stretch, the night expands. I hold the taste in gentle hands. Memories drifting, sugared streams, fading softly like my dreams. Soft and sweet, dancing slowly, all my tongues bleed. But when it's gone, the shadows creep, and all that lingers is quiet, deep pride. Empty wrappers, quiet sighs, flickering candle, fading skies. Every shadow, every glow holds a story I get to know. Taste again, chocolate trees and gentle rain. Till then I linger, slow and kind, bittersweet in heart and mind. Midnight chocolate soft and sweet, dancing slowly on my toes. Be when it's all gone, the shadows sleep, and in the quiet my soul will keep. Shelve the light and lock the hollow bone. Lay the heavy debts upon the stone. The coming sun is but a ghost unborn. In this narrow road we shall not mourn. Ignore the map and let the compass rust. Build a temple out of settling dust. The pendulum is frozen in its arc between the dying ember and the dark. I do not care for harvest or the rain. I've misplaced every tether to my name. The clock is just a circle on the wall, with nothing left to climb and not to fall. Shelve the light and lock the hollow bone. Lay the heavy deft upon a stone. The coming sun is but a ghost unborn. In this narrow room we shall not mourn. Ignore the map and let the compass rust. Build a temple out of settling dust. This heartbeat is a hammer in the palm, a momentary shelter in the calm. Forgiveness is a word for later men who seek to find the starting line again. But here the finish is the only floor. No knocking needed at an absent door. Shelve the light and lock a hollow bone. Lay this heavy debts upon a stone. The coming sun is but a ghost unborn. In this narrow room we shall not mourn. Ignore the map and let the compass rust. Build a temple out of settling dust. Shelve the light and lock the hollow bone. Lay the heavy debts upon a stone. The coming sun is but a ghost unborn. In this narrow room we shall not mourn. Ignore the map and let the compass rust. Build a temple out of settling dust. Four bells strike before the sun dares to wake. I put on a coat for the cold morning's sake. The lock clicks shut like a secret kept tight, leaving behind the ghost of the night. My boots find the rhythm on the pavement stones in a city that finally feels like my own. Oh, the hour is blue and the air is thin, where the day ends and the prayers begin. No faces in windows, no ties on the street, just the pale yellow glow where the shadows all meet. I am walking through a dream that the world forgot in the quiet corners of this hollow plot. The bakery door lets out a sigh of sweet ease, a prayer for the hungry, a nod to the feast. The street lamps flicker and fade into gray, surrendering their fire to the coming of day. I am not looking for answers or a hand to hold, just watching the silver turn into gold. The newsstands are sleeping under plastic and wire. The cats in the alley move like liquid and fire. I cross at the light, though the signal stays red. With a heavy heart and a cleared out head, there is a mercy in the way the wind blows, but nobody is watching and nobody knows. The horizon is bleeding a soft shade of rose. The heavy iron shutters start to unclose. The silence is breaking like glass on the floor. I can't stay a stranger to the light anymore. Oh, the hour is blue and the air is thin, where the deadly ends and the prayers begin. No faces in windows, no ties on the street, just the pale yellow glow where the shadows all meet. I am walking through a dream that the world forgot in the quiet corners of its hollow plot. Oh, the hour is blue and the air is thin, where the day ends and the prayers begin. No faces in windows, no time on the street, just the pale yellow glow where the shadows all meet. I am walking through a dream that the world forgot in the quiet corners of this hollow plot.